Welcome to In the Community with Tiffany K.
And we're back with another episode of In the Community. I'm Tiffany K. And this week I have with me Darrell, who is the event coordinator for the local chapter of the Izaak Walton League. And you're going to be talking about the Dog Mart. And I'm very excited about this.
I am. Thank you very much for having us.
This is going to be a fun time.
I hope so. I hope so.
Well, we've already been laughing off the air, so it's going to be a good time already. But I want to start from the beginning. So we know we have the Dog Mart coming up, and I want to get to the specifics about that. But before we do that, what is a Dog Mart? And for those who don't know, where does the history start with it?
Well, the history goes all the way back to the late 1600s.
Oh, wow.
1698. We have references back to the 1698 when the House of Burgesses enacted a Dog Mart, dog fair. Of course, it was the old English spelling of, F-A-R.
Yes.
And Dog Mart with the E at the end. But it goes all the way back to then in that they established a dog mart, or actually a mart, where they would trade the local tribes, the Manahoic, the Pamunkey, and the Mattaponi Indians in the area. And they would trade furs and produce for the English settlers' hunting dogs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so that had that's kind of where it started, in that it would progress from there and then into had it all the way up until probably the Revolutionary War, when there was some distrust among the Native Americans and the colonists, and so
of course.
it was suspended there for that time. But then it was kind of revived in 1927 in the city of Fredericksburg.
Okay.
And a pretty big event for several years there. And then they had a hiatus there for World War II.
Okay.
Short time period there. Then in 1948 they picked it back up in the city of Fredericksburg, and that's when the Chamber of Commerce bestowed the stewardship onto the Izaak Walton League, the local chapter of the Izaak Walton League. And so from then on, we've been having it, we've been holding it, we've been the sponsors of it, I guess you could say, since then. And we've held it every year, with the exception of 2020, when we had, of course, the pandemic.
Of course, yeah.
So, but other than that, we've had it every year out there at our chapter grounds.
So it's like a long-honored tradition.
Yes, and that's what we're really looking to do, is keep that tradition alive and grow, and keep it going. It's changed in terms of back in the 20s and 30s, 40s. A lot of the focus was on the auctioning of the hunting dogs.
Okay.
They would actually have an auction.
Oh, wow.
To for the auction off various hunting dogs.
Right.
We've moved away from the auctioning of dogs.
Right. I was going to say. It probably looks a little different now than it used to.
Oh, absolutely. It's very interesting. You should say look different. Back in the probably the 40s, 50s, late 40s, early 50s, it was a very, very big event in Fredericksburg. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of people would attend.
Oh, wow.
They estimate somewhere around the 15,000. Now, and if you look at the population of Fredericksburg at the time, that was a lot of folks to be heading down to downtown Fredericksburg to see that, for the Dog Mart. A huge parade down through Caroline Street, and marching bands and the politicians. And what's interesting about that, we actually have a film, a old home movie, and we've posted it out there if you would like to see, anybody would like to go out and see it. But it's a home movie, clips of a home movie from somewhere in the 1950-51. We can't really tell for certain because of the cars, but, there's an old Woody station wagon in there. And but it has clips of, the marching bands and the mayor. We think the mayor, I'm not certain it's the mayor, but the politicians riding on the fire trucks and those types of things. Native Americans in it, in the parade, and then it clips over to the actual event, different activities during the event. So it's a very interesting film. We had someone had given it to us from a member from long years ago, and recorded that, and so we had converted it into a digital type.
And where can people find that?
It's on the Fredericksburg Dog Mart.
Okay.
website.
Okay.
You'll see it's about a 15-minute video, so it takes a while to download.
Right.
But it's very interesting. And you were saying about things of changing. If you notice in that video, you'll see the gentlemen are all wearing their suits and ties and their hats.
Okay.
Ladies are all dressed in their, Sunday best dresses and things. So it's very interesting to see.
Kind of like Kentucky Derby-esque.
Yeah, yes, very, very much so.
Wow.
And it was apparently the event to partake in during that time frame. So, it's an interesting film.
I love events with such rich history behind them because it makes me want to participate more. You want to be part of that history.
Oh, absolutely. And part of that history in international or national at least, National Geographic had done a story back in 1951, I believe. It was the June of 51.
Okay.
So, it's got the national recognition, and they had said there was folks from other countries there, so I guess somewhat international also. So,
wow. Well, and now we're going to talk about the Dog Mart today. And by the
Sure.
way, I'm speaking with Darrell, the event coordinator for the local chapter of the Izaak Walton League. So we have a Dog Mart coming up. Of course, that's why we're talking about it.
Right.
And it's coming up on September 30th. It's 9:30 to 3. Now, give me some of the gritty details. Where is it being held? The cost? Kind of that stuff.
Sure. It'll be held out there at our chapter grounds, which is on Herndon Road, 12400 Herndon Road, out there in Spotsylvania, just past Chancellorsville Battlefield.
Okay.
Off there. And so we'll hold it there on the grounds. We have nice grounds, beautiful grounds there, a nice pond and everything. So, and the cost only $5 per carload.
Oh, wow.
Folks. So it doesn't really matter how many folks you have in the car.
Stuff them all
it's
in there.
$5. Yep, bring the family, bring the dog, and stuff them all in the car, and that's our only fee is the entrance fee there, other than food and drink.
Okay.
I mean, you do have food and drink there that you can purchase, but everything else is free. I mean, we have a number of activities. A number of things for the kids to do, anything from the barrel train, the moon bounce.
Oh, wow.
We'll have a fishing derby. We have the BB guns and the archery. The Manahawk bowmen will set up a archery range for us and for the kids to participate in. So there's a tremendous amount of things to do, and that's just the activities that are ongoing all throughout the day.
And I was going to say, you also have other things that you can see that relate back to the history of the Dog Mart, correct?
Yes. We'll have we have a few reenactors, period, Revolutionary War, Civil War, those types of folks. But we also have the Native Americans participate, and during a reenactment, we'll actually have some period costumes and have folks reenact the exchange of the dogs between the Native Americans and the settlers. Okay. And so we'll pick on a couple dogs to be part of that little reenactment, and so then they reenact that, and we have a little script of the history behind it and why we do it that way.
A little bit of living history.
Yes.
Watching it happen.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Now, I also understand that you have a dog show as well happening.
Yes, that's part of it too, as keeping the dog show, again, no cost to enter, some nice ribbons, and a nice bowl, a trophy for the best in show. Very nice. I mean, it's very nice, and and there's no cost, and it's a lot of fun. Let's say this: it's not a AKC registered, where they're conformance and all those types of things.
Right.
It's kind of a fun type thing. Really, the kids enjoy it, being able to show off their dogs, bring their dogs in the little arena that we've set up.
Of course.
And they enjoy, just having that opportunity to show off their dogs, and so that's a big part of it. It's a lot of fun.
And I also understand this is like one of my favorite things because I've seen it before, a canine demonstration by the sheriff's office. Yes,
the sheriff's department will come out. They'll do a canine demonstration. Now that can range. In some years, we've actually had them do where the what I'd call apprehension.
Okay.
Where they have one of the deputies would dress up in a bite suit
Yes.
and take off on running, and the dogs enjoy that, I think, and so does the crowd. I mean, now I don't know if they'll be able to do that again this year for us, but they do. Typically, they'll do either that or a demonstration of like a search or a search. Where they can find a piece of evidence or something. They'll hide a set of keys or a pocket knife or something of that, and the dogs will go out and look for those. So we very much appreciate the sheriff's department coming out doing that for us. The crowd likes to see that, get involved in that, and they have a question and answer period also. They'll do a question and answer afterwards and that. So
awesome.
And we plan this year again to do the search and rescue. We have a local search and rescue team that will do also a demonstration. They may hide somebody behind some, bales of hay, those types of things, and they'll go out there, and the dog will go out and look for them and use a scent and to try to find them.
So in other words, there's no lack of entertainment the whole day.
No lack of entertainment. In addition to all those, we have the what we call the adoption showcase, where all the we invite the local SPCAs, the rescue groups, to come out and showcase their dogs. We usually do that right before the dog show to get everybody's interest, but this way that the dogs can be paraded around the arena, give a little bit of information about the dog and where to go see about adoption.
Oh, wow.
So we try to encourage that rather than going back to the auction, rather than trying to auction off dogs. We try to encourage the adoption side of things, and so
auction equals adoption. At this point.
Yeah. Well, the objective is the same. Trying to get dogs paired up with family. I mean, so it's the objective is the same. The method may be a little different, but that's the overall. We try to get the folks aligned and get with their dogs. And
a worthy cause. It really is.
We hope, yes.
And, I know there's also other vendors there as well. What are a couple of the things that are going on with that? There's a silent auction, I think, too?
Yes, we'll do a silent auction. We have a number of, right now, I know there's a number of handmade quilts and those types of things, so crafts, different things. So that's ongoing. So we have those, and we'll also have a raffle ongoing for some items. We'll do that. That's a raffle. That's buy tickets for that. But silent auction. We're doing a bake sale out there, so folks can come out and have, get some goodies and pies and cakes and cookies and all those good things.
You had me at bake sale. I'm always there for the sweets.
The sweets, yep. So.
And the Izaak Walton beekeepers are going to be out there with
they
local
will
honey.
also, yes, they'll be out there. They will have some local honey. They'll have local honey available. They had a good year this year for honey, and so they have the small jars of honey and some other things available. I believe they are also doing a quick raffle of a quilt, a bee-oriented or bee-themed, I guess you could say, or a dog or a dog. So we should have all, good amount of activities there for besides all the other dog-related stuff.
Sounds like there's a lot going on, and I'm speaking with Darrell, the event coordinator for the local chapter of the Izaak Walton League. We're talking about the Dog Mart. Now, speaking of dogs, and you mentioned it earlier, dogs are welcome. Are there any restrictions or anything?
There's no restrictions. All that we ask, though, is that they be on a leash, of course, and that they be social to other dogs and people.
Right.
We just want them to be to have fun for everybody. So, we don't want to have any dog fights. Yeah, dog fights going on in the parking lot or anything.
You're like, this is not part of the show.
Right.
This is not part of that.
Absolutely.
Well, where can people follow along to get more information, to register if they want to be part of the dog show? Keep up to date with this. It's coming up quickly, but where can they register?
Yes, it is. Fredericksburg-Dogmart.com.
Okay.
That's our website out there. A lot of information. We probably still have vendor spots, relatively inexpensive for that if you're interested in a vendor. And like you were mentioning before, we have a wide variety of vendors. It's not just all dog-oriented. I mean, we have a wide variety. So there's no
restrictions.
And the restrictions on, the types of vendors and such. So, I mean, we've had real estate agents and, all kind of stuff. So, vacuum cleaners and all. So, I mean, it's just a time to get out there and try to have some exposure. And we look off for that also as exposure for us, in that those folks that are vendors and saying, hey, I'm going out to so-and-so, the Dog Mart this weekend, come on out and see me or whatever, those types of things.
And we all know where dogs are, people flock to. So it's the perfect time to get your business out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, perfect. Darrell, I have one more question for you. What is your favorite part of the Dog Mart?
I would have to say the dog show. The dog show itself is a lot of fun, in that to see the different variety, the dogs, and like I said, the kids are very excited to be able to show off their dogs, and so it's very exciting to see, and it's very, very touching sometimes when they get a ribbon, and they're so proud of, in a dog, if they win a ribbon, or actually even the best of show.
Yeah.
The kid, they just love that. So.
You had me at dog show, so I'm sold at this point. Yep. The Dog Mart is happening September 30th, 9:30 to 3, held at the Fredericksburg-Rappahannock Chapter of the Izaak Walton League. And you can find all the information, as you said, the website one more time.
Fredericksburgdogmart.com.
Awesome. Well, Darrell, thank you so much for coming in today. Excited to see you out there and see all the dogs.
Well, thank you for having us, and thank you for Alpha Media for putting this on, and we look forward to everybody coming out there and seeing us.
And that'll do it for In the Community this week. If you are a nonprofit and need to bring attention to your cause or organization, please reach out through this station's website, and we will see you next week.